the show of power between the current governor of Rivers State and his predecessor took a divergent turn when Governor Fubara of Rivers State attacked the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, saying it is only empty containers that make noise. It is in response to the farmer's claim that he initiated a multi-billion naira ring road project in Rivers State when he was a state governor. During a reception organized in his honor by the Rivers Ijaw People's Congress, Wike accused the PDP members who were supporting Fubara, stating that he is bigger than all of them.
While the fight has degenerated to who initiated the construction of the ring road in the state, Governor Fubara warned that Rivers State is nobody's enterprise and he cannot be intimidated.
I cannot give my kidney or my liver to anybody. I won't. If that is the only reason for me to be loyal, I will not be. But I will not do the wrong thing. I will stand on the side of right. I make bold to say it. There is no security agency that in this state that I've called any day to go and do something wrong. I've never. I don't have any need for it. But I know what they do. And they keep failing because God has left them.
Meanwhile, the Rivers State Governor, Fubara, has declared October 3rd and 4th public holidays in Rivers State ahead of the local government election. He announced strict restrictions on vehicular movement of residents from midnight on Friday, October 4th to 5 p.m. on election day, despite counter-reactions from INEC over the release of voters register to the Rivers State Electoral Commission.
Therefore, I wish to advise and request all registered voters to go to their polling unit to exercise their franchise by voting for the candidate of their choice, as security personnel will be there to maintain order and ensure peaceful poll as a matter of constitutional duty. We are leaving no stone unturned to enable all registered voters to travel to their communities to participate, peacefully exercise their civil responsibility at their polling unit. To this end, I hereby declare Thursday and Friday, the 3rd and 4th of October 2024, a public holiday for citizens to travel to their communities.
Well, joining us to look at how the current feud between the political godfather and FCT Minister Nyesom Wike and Fubara is affecting the state and the PDP is Ipunabo Inkotaria, former SA to the FCT Minister while he was governor of the state, and Honorable Collins Odu, former member of the Rivers State House of Assembly. Good morning, gentlemen. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, and thanks for having me.
All right. Ms. Inkotaria, I'm going to start with you and the controversy concerning the Ring Road project. Let's get your thoughts quickly on that. Why is this a major debate? Who started the project?
The project has always been in the pipeline. I mean, it was started by JTSP, or it was ideated by JTSP. But when you talk of actual commencement, I think all the T's were crossed and the I's were dotted by the former governor, who is now the minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike.
Okay, I mean, so it was started by Nyesom Wike, but it's currently being finished, you know, if I would say, by the current governor. Is that what you're saying?
I said it was ideated, and I think contractual obligations were met. But when we talk of commencement of work, we are talking of Fubara, Governor Fubara.
Okay, Mr. Odu, is that, you know, I mean, do you agree with that?
I agree to the extent that Governor Fubara flagged off the project. Immediately he began his tenure, but like he said, the project has been there in the pipeline, but Governor Nyesom Wike was the one who did the feasibility studies and made it a contractual document before it was handed over to the current governor.
All right, let's now move away from that project to talk about the elections, the pink elephant in the room. The local government elections are scheduled to hold on the 5th of October. Now, there are reports about the judgment of the court presided over by Justice Lifo, where it was said that, this election should not hold. And I'll start with Mr. Honorable Odru to talk about the elections, the court judgment and the governor's insistence on going on with the elections. What are your thoughts about that?
We are really surprised and shocked that we have a governor who has vowed not to adhere to the rules and regulations and the oath of office to which he swore. The governor has consistently been on the path of violating every known law, every known judgment. I have fingers to, or rather examples to pinpoint, but for now, it baffles us why the governor would rather want to shop for judgments in courts without jurisdiction. We all know that some certain courts have jurisdiction over issues while others don't. At different times, the governor will go shopping for orders in courts without jurisdiction and flagrantly violating and rejecting the ones that have jurisdiction.
All right, I would like to bring, okay, I think another follow-up to this is, so, Mr. Aldo, are you saying, without a shadow of doubt, now that the governor has decided that the elections are going on, what is the People's Democratic Party saying about it? What's the stance of the PDP?
No, it is not certain that the governor had decided. I think those are the grandstanding he normally adopts to still encourage his supporters to be around him. I am very sure that he will, before 5th, recalls himself to trying to come to terms with reality. I'm certain that the election will not hold, because for him to flagrantly disobey a court order or court judgment, that will be out of place.
All right, let's bring in Mr. Inkotaria as well to react to this. Mr. Inkotaria, your thoughts on the court judgment, regarding the elections, governor insisting. And Mr. Audu has said now that he believes the governor is grandstanding and that he will not go ahead with the elections on the 5th of October.
First, let me correct the impression that the governor has a penchant for disregarding court orders. That is not true. That is number one. Number two, you have 2 court orders, and none restrained the governor from conducting the elections. The lawful judgment they are talking about talked of restrain the INEC from releasing the voters' register to the governor. Now you also have a high court judgment, which are courts of equal jurisdiction, which went ahead and also restrained the governor to ensure that the local government elections are conducted, that is one, and also allowed them to use the 2023 voters register that is with them in the conduct of the local government elections. So the governor is not flouting any court order. That is number one. Number two, you also have a Supreme Court judge that has declared caretaker committees illegal. And so it is what you call the malum prohibitum. You can no longer have local government councils anymore in the Federation. And by the special grace of God, and with the intervention of the President Bola Tinubu, states were given 3 months grace to ensure local government elections are conducted. If the governor does not go ahead to conduct the local government election, the same persons today that are saying no, he should not conduct the local government are the same persons that will reproach him. And they are the same persons that will say he has committed delinquent acts because he has disobeyed Supreme Court judgment. So what is the controversy there? It's what I cannot even understand. I can't fathom. What is wrong with the conduct of local government elections? we all say, oh, the governors are tyrants, the governors, they do this, they leech on local government funds, they leech on this, they do that. Now the Supreme Court has come to say, okay, we want the independence of the local government. And secondly, we don't want caretaker committees anymore. We want elected local government chairmen. And this is what the government is doing in sync with the Supreme Court judgment. And that is why it's conducting the local government election from 5th of October, which is on Saturday, 2024. And that date is sacrosanct. He's not going to refuse. He's not going to have a rethink when it comes to local government election. He also said yesterday in his broadcast. So nobody should think he's going to have a rethink when it comes to the local government elections. It will go on.
All right.
If you're not satisfied with the variety of the local government elections, you have the courts to go to, where you can question it. But the elections will take place.
All right, Mr. Alduam, let's come back to you. And of course, I'm going to, ask from the not the president now, the governor's speech. He was quoting the court judgment. If you read from the speech, it says the legal impetus of RCEC to conduct the local government elections was further strengthened by the judgment of the River State High Court delivered on the 4th of September, which positively directed the governor of River State, the government of River State, and RCEC to conduct scheduled local government elections on the 5th of October. So, Mr. Aldo, which ruling are you speaking about that, stops the governor from going ahead with the local government elections?
Okay, thank you very much. But before I go into your question, or let me take that lastly, I will get back to my brother who tries to disprove my position of the governor flouting court judgments and the law. But before then, let me answer your question. Yes, Justice Lifu of the Federal High Court, Abuja, restrained INEC from providing the voters register to the governor. One of the reasons why they did that is the fact that, as I speak with you now, the governor does not operate the state with a budget. The budget that was wrongly passed by the Edisineye administration, or rather Edisineye illegal House of Assembly, was nullified by a court judgment of Justice Omotosho, and he was asked to represent it. As I speak with you now, the leverage of 6 months has expired, which any governor or government ought to operate without a budget before you get a budget. And then secondly, the instant laws of the RISEC stipulates the number of days and time that they are supposed to make public their intentions to conduct elections. Those are the grounds in which Justice Lifu asked INEC not to give their or send voters register to RISEC to conduct election. So if RISEC is not given the voters register to conduct election, one wonders where and how they want to carry on, because they must certainly use that. Okay, not only that, as at yesterday, INEC came up, the resident electoral commissioner of Rivers State, because the RISEC boss had admitted to the fact that he is in custody of the voters register. The INEC rec came and said, we have not given you the voters register. My brother knows. I have the clip. If I have your number, I'll send it to you, and I'm sure you have it. So with which voters register do they want to conduct the election? That's why I'm telling you that he's grandstanding. And then on the issue of my brother saying the governor is not known for violating and refusing to adhere to court rulings and orders, I want to refer him to Justice Omotosho's judgment. There are several orders that were given to the governor. The governor violated them till date. One of them is, please don't relocate. You don't have the powers to relocate the assembly. They will have the right to decide wherever they want to sit. The second is the fact that represent the budget and several others. To this date, the governor has refused has refused, I say it blatantly, to adhere to those judgments. And I think that this one will be the last.
And I believe that Mr. Nkotara does have a right of response. He's raised the issue of the 90 days notice that the governor, or the 90 days notice that has been failed to be given, right? So we want you to respond to that. And he's also raised fresh issues. Well, not necessarily fresh issues. These are issues that we that have happened months ago, but have seemed to crop up in terms of determining the integrity of the governor's character.
Okay. Well, he talked of Omotosho's judgment, and let us also not forget, I'll soon come to the 90 days. Let us also not forget that because of the way our politicians go about, how do they call this, is it forum shopping or what they call it, you have all kinds of contradicting judgments. And when you find yourself in situations like that, or from courts of co-equal jurisdiction, when you find yourself in situations like that, of course you have a right to choose the one you want to choose until it gets to Court of Appeal or Supreme Court, where the judgments are binding once they are delivered. And so that's why I say you cannot flout. You cannot accuse the governor of flouting court judgment when you have about 2 court judgments. One is saying yes, one is saying no. I have a right to choose the one I want to choose. And in such situations, I cannot be accused of flouting any court judgments. That is number one. Number two, he talked of the 90 days. Well, in all fairness, like I say, Osa and Olive, I'm not a member of any political party. And I decided not to be a member of any political party because I want to speak freely and without bias. I don't know if the 90 days as prescribed, if the 90 days notice as prescribed was given. I will not come on air to say yes or no to that. If the CX should be in a position to give that notice, or those that are participating in the elections should be in the better position to tell the world if they got a 90 days notice. I don't know if that 90 days notice was given or not, and I'm going to pontificate. I'm not going to speak on that. That is the truth about that.
Yeah.
But when you talk of the issue of court judgments, no, that's why I say it would not be fair, it would be mendacious to say the government is disobeying court judgments. It's not true. When you have 2 court judgments, I have a right to choose the one I want to choose. We are all human beings and we are prone to that human frailty. Nobody will dive into a fire just to get burnt.
Yeah, all right.
If I see a fire and I see an AC chilling room, I'll walk into the AC chilling room.
Yeah.
Definitely. And until you get an arbiter, a Shibura arbiter who will come to tell us, no, where you walked into is wrong or is right.
Yeah.
So until that is done,
kindly hold on.
We cannot accuse.
So just to confirm, just like, Mr. Odu mentioned, I did see the video from INEC yesterday. I think it was out yesterday, saying that they have not given the voters register to RISIEC yet. And of course, they are respecting court orders, to not give them. So I think that one is, very far.
Well, let me quickly respond. Yes, let me quickly respond to that. The CEC chairman said he's in possession of the 2023 voters register, which was used. Unless they are talking of the updated voters register, I don't know if there's an updated one. And if the CEC chairman is saying he's in possession of that, then which other register are they talking about? Which other register do you need to conduct the local government elections? But let's tell us that after the 2023, you have the updated voters register. Well, I don't know if there is an updated voters register. But that of 2023, of course, even before now, was in the position of River State Independent Electoral Commission, because it was also used to conduct local government elections.
Okay.
And it was also used even for the general elections. So if the CEC chairman came on air to say, I am in possession of that document, which other document do you want?
What of security?
You see, they'll come up with to hamstring. Yes,
so if the chairman says he has documents, what of security? Is that a concern? Because from what you have said now, they're both conflicting judgments from 2 courts of coordinate jurisdiction, and the governor has decided which one he wants to follow. But one of the courts has said that, the IGP should not give security to the elections should they happen on the 4th and on the 5th. Is there a concern for security?
There's also a court in River State, too, that has also mandated the security agencies to ensure they maintain law and order during the elections.
All right. Let's move away from the election conversation and talk about the hold that Nyesom Wike has or seems to have on River State. And I'll have Honorable Odu, first of all, speak on that before I have you respond to it. Honorable Collins Odu, what is it? It does seem that the grip that Nyesom Wike, the former governor of Rivers State, has on Rivers State is not letting go. And we've seen conversations about PDP governors supporting Wike and warning Fubara. But there have also been criticism. People have asked Nyesom Wike to step aside. His time in office is over. And he should focus on being the minister of the FCT. What is your response to that?
My response to that is the fact that the governor lacks managerial ability. Former Governor Nyesom Wike is in Abuja carrying out his daily activities. It is for the governor to sit back here and harness the human and capital resources around him to create a conducive atmosphere for him to govern. But rather, the governor is the one who's been aggressive here. You can see how he walked to the River State House of Assembly quarters like a King Kong with violent intimidation. You can see how he went to the House of Assembly complex and broke it down. The governor is the one that is an aggressor here. Leave Nyesom Wike out of this because Nyesom Wike has no part to play. He is just a citizen of River State who his benefactor has fallen out with, and he has taken that in good conscience and shape. The man is the one who cannot make use of what is available to him. You see, we have bad managers and we have good managers. There is no way a bad manager can achieve good results, and that is what is going on.
Okay. Inkotara, quickly, your response to that as well. You know, Mr. Aldu says the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike has no hand in what's going on in Rivers State. He's focused on the FCT. But many would argue that all these, you know, things that we're talking about this morning, you know, the Federal High Court ruling, and of course, you know, the INEC decision also to withhold the voters register based on the court ruling are all orchestrated by the FCT minister. Do you agree, or do you support Honorable Odu's claims?
My dear brother, we all know, you know, truth is incontrovertible. Malice may distort it, ignorance may divide it, but there it is. Nyesom Wike himself, the FCT minister himself, has said on several occasions that they will continue to give Fubara trouble. It's on tape. Even recently when he came to River State, I think over the last weekend or so, when he was hosted by certain persons who refer to themselves as a Joe, whatever. He said the same thing. We all know that Nyesom Wike is the masterhead, is the arrowhead, is the mastermind of what is going on in River State, simply because the governor has refused to owe fealty to him. It's as simple as that. And he has said it, even when he had the media chat, he has said it on several occasions that he will continue to give the governor trouble. He has said it. He's not hiding that he's part of, or he's even the one that is stimulating the crisis in River State. He has not hidden that fact. So I'm surprised that my brother would come on air to try to divorce Nyesom Wike from the crisis in River State, when we all know that he's the one engineering the crisis in River State. And the issue of the governor, what has the governor done? If you observe, most times incendiary statements are being made by Nyesom Wike. Even when they had that sham they call the PDP Congress in River State, for the first time you have a Congress in the hall, in just one small room. When they had that sham, his governors, the four ministers, echoed the same tracks. So we all know that he's the one stimulating, instigating crisis. All he's trying to do is to ensure, he said it himself, that we're going to give them trouble. You know what? He said it. He also said it. He also advised the former House of Assembly members who are in court today, having galloped through the fields of legislative versatility. Now you want to come back to say no, because you've gotten to the height of errors. You want to rescind your decision that no, you're no longer a member of the House. Anyway, that matter has been subjected to the clinical progress of the Labour lab, so we are not even going to discuss that. Let's wait for the appeal court and the Supreme Court to decide on that. If it was the case of legislative somnambulism, when you defected. So we all know that there's a wicked behind the whole crisis, and the man has not hidden that fact.
Well,
I don't know why my brother will want to insulate him from what is going on in River State. No, he is not just part of it. He is the mastermind.
but PDP doesn't seem to agree or think that he's behind it. In fact, they've asked that, there should be, they've apologized on behalf of Fubara, and saying that the governor lacks political will. How do you see this whole drama ending in Kotaria?
The governor lacks, when you say the governor lacks the political will, it's because the governor is trying to be sentimental, considering how he emerged as governor of River State. It is one irrefragable fact that the FCT minister was instrumental to his emergence. And so you find out that he found it very difficult to even react or respond to the FCT minister at the initial stage. And that is the level of gratitude that, yes, this man was instrumental to my emergence. So whatever he says, whatever he does, I should be able to brook it.
All right.
But when a man is pushed to the wall, he passes back with double effort. He has been pushed to the wall by the FCT minister, and that is why you see him reacting the way he's reacting.
Yeah, all right, hold on.
And the governors, I don't understand, because the governors forum, recently, the FCT minister lacked out at the governors, the PDP governors, who declared their support for the governor of River State. So when you say the governors, or the PDP governors, against the governor of River State, I really can't fathom that. I don't understand where that is coming from.
Yeah.
Well,
because recently...
Right. And that's an important point that you've made. That's an important point that you've made. I'm saying that's an important point that you've made, and let's have Mr. Odu speak on that. How do you say that the FCT minister, is not involved in River State politics or River State, affairs currently, when, just a few weeks ago, we heard him warning other governors to steer clear of River State. If not, he will put fire in their state. So if you remember that statement very clearly. So, Mr. Audu, what do you think about that? I mean, go ahead, please.
Oh, thank you very much. I thought I was here to watch my brother Nabon Kutera to be making comment. Thanks for the audience. But another thing, please, let us try and moderate our language. He used the language ignorance. I mean, at my level, I don't think I deserve that kind of, and I would request him for a soft apology on that. Back to the point. You referred to when a PDP stalwart said the governor lacks the ability
political
to
skill,
govern, the political will to govern.
Skill, I correct that, skill.
Yeah, skill to govern, and that's a good one. Then you can imagine that he has the party as a governor, he has House of Assembly, he has all other facets of the state. He is in loggerhead with virtually all of them. Okay, if it is the FCT minister that is instigating his problems, will the FCT minister also be blamed for not procuring or seeking to get the voters register? The last time I checked, elections into the local government was conducted way back when 4 years ago. And that is to the extent that RISEC should have in custody voters register. So anything that they claim to have now, INEC says we did not give it to you. But back to the Honorable Minister, he is on his own. He is trying to survive in the state where he he governed very creditably and with accolades, and somebody is coming to destroy it. You can imagine a comment made by the governor that he's renovating psychiatric hospital in readiness for his benefactor. So I still want to stand on the ground that the governor should concentrate and forget that, because if he's getting things right, he won't be having issues. He won't be having problems. Nobody will mention Governor Nyesom Wike. I don't see how he does he sign papers for him? Does he do anything for him? He's at loggerhead with the assembly. Let him go and reconcile with them. These are the areas that one expects him to use managerial skill to show that he is capable of running the state. But
All right.
all of these are to no avail.
All right. Well, you didn't address the actual question that I raised, but we're out of time. Honorable Collins Odu, thank you very much for your time this morning.
Let me first and foremost,
okay, we'll go on a very quick break. When we come back, we'll have you both respond.
All right.
We'll have you both respond, but we need to go on a very quick break now, shortly. Welcome back. We're still looking at the drama going on in Rivers State, and we still have Mr. Inko-Tariah and Honorable Collins Odu. Mr. Inko-Tariah, before we went on the break, you wanted to respond to a statement made by Mr. Odu, and the floor is yours.
Sorry, if you could refresh my memory, you said I said you're ignorant or something like that. Well, first of all, ignorance is not an insult. I can be ignorant of something. I might not be cognizant of something. So I don't know if you're offended by that. I mean, the world knows that when I come on air, I don't use certain words to offend my colleagues on the other side. I don't do that.
All right.
But in what context? In what context, please? I can't remember. If I said you cannot feign ignorance, if I said that, that's not an insult.
All right. Thanks for clarifying that. I'm sure Honorable Odu understands what you meant. But Honorable, go ahead if you want to also. Please go ahead. And also, I asked a question earlier that you didn't respond.
Before I go into what I want to say.
Yeah, Honorable Odu, apologies, but I asked a question earlier that you didn't respond to, and that was again the involvement of.
I wanted to address something. I just wanted to address something. That's an aside.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
yes.
Let's have Honorable Odu quickly respond to my question, please.
Okay, in response to your question, the Honorable Minister of FCT cannot be held responsible for whatever is going on in Rivers State. He has addressed us after the congresses. He said there are investments you make and they go in shambles. Therefore, you people should take heart. This one should be regarded as such. And said we should wait for 2027. He made that. My brother is aware of that. So if somebody had made such statement, he has given up on. He doesn't want to know if he assisted him anymore. Let him go, if that is his will. And then on the issue of the state governors he won, in Rivers State, one of the things that the former governor has insisted was don't destroy the structure. Don't destroy the structure. And the structure is the party. So the Honorable Minister has decided to put in good condition his structure to be able to withstand other elections in the state, unlike a situation where the governor is trying to destroy it. So he's telling other PDP governors, please don't attempt to destroy or assist him to destroy the structure. Let's have PDP intact so we can withstand any forces. If you do that, it's a condition. If you do that, I will have what I can do in your state. So it's a conditional issue. Please, just allow me to rest.
All right, we have to wrap up now. Mr. Inko-Tariah, you have 1 minute, please. And as you wrap up to that, as you respond to that, Mr. Inko, please just share with us how you think all of this drama will end between Nyesom Wike, Sindalai Fubara, and the people of Rivers State.
That statement from the FCT minister is a threat to PDP governors, asking them to divert themselves from the crisis because he's scared that with the help of the PDP governors, of course, the sitting governor of Rivers State was going to trounce in whatever warfare, whatever competition they have. And that is his fear. So he's saying, stay away. Otherwise, I will put trouble in your state. I'll stimulate crisis in your state. The FCT minister we are talking about is involved in practically all the states in the federation. If we come to, have you forgotten how he was donating buses and cash to contestants in other states? Cross River State, Adamawa, and so on. He's involved. So how can you now say that the PDP, this is a brother governor from PDP, and the man is being attacked constantly by his predecessor, and you say the governor should remain silent? It's not possible. You have the governor's forum. and they came out to speak. You cannot ask them to stay away. And not just that, you not threaten them that should they continue to support the governor of Rivers State, then he's going to ensure crisis in their state.
All right.
That's infantile. It shouldn't come from somebody of his status. Because let me also tell you, again, you should also realize that meaning is not in the message, but always in the message user. In what was spoken is past record. Once you say a thing, it's subject to prior interpretations. And this is the interpretation the world has given to it.
All right.
That it's a threat to a PDP government. Simply because they are supporting the government. Now, if you want to come out of it, the panacea to all this crisis is simple. Because it's, like I always say, the pestilence of godfatherism is the genesis of the crisis. Allow this man to rule.
Thank you very much,
the man will give you the respect you want, but do not.
All right, gentlemen, we have to go, unfortunately, because we're out of time. Thank you so much. Thank you, Honorable Collins Odru. Thank you, Mr. Inko-Tariah. We hope to have you join us again. We'll find out what the 5th of October has and what, how the elections will or will not turn out. And we hope that we can have the both of you join us during and maybe after the elections.